In this video, I'm going to talk about the switch statement. The switch statement is very similar to the if-else-if statement. It makes a decision for you amongst certain options. So why would you use a switch statement over an if statement? Well, it works out well if you have only a smaller list of possibilities, like 1, 2, or 3 in this case. So it makes your code look neater and more readable. So let's see. So if we ask for a choice, which is an integer, we're going to switch based on that choice value, the integer value. In the case that it's a 1, it's going to print this outcome. In the case that it's a 2, it'll do this outcome, etc. So down here, I'm going to type 1 for adult. Oh, look at that. It printed out all 4 options. Mr. Benham, what's going on? Well, what we need to do is we need to actually fix this program. I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to add a break statement after every option here. And what that does is after it's done this statement here, it breaks out of the current set of curly brackets, which is these ones here. So it will work properly this time when I type in 1 for adult. There we go, 325. As soon as it hits the break, it escaped out of there and went to the line right after the ending curly bracket. Okay, so that's most of the time you will need actually to put those breaks in, but I'll show you this second demonstration here is a case where you don't actually really want the breaks in there. So what happens here in the second demonstration, I enter a grade, which is going to be a number from 10 all the way down to 0. And if it matches, the mark matches one of these cases, like if it's, let's say, a 9, it's going to drop through until it does something and hits a break. So that's actually good in this case. So in the case that's a 10 or a 9 or an 8, it'll set the grade value to an A and then break out. In the case it's a 4, let's say it would drop through all of these, fall through until it hits here and then break. So if I type something in here like a 4, it should print out 4 is an F. There you go. So it hit that case, matched it, and dropped through, printed, well, actually it stored in a string that value F and then printed it after the switch statement was over. So keep in mind with the switch, you really have to list all of your cases. If it doesn't see your case, then it won't set the value properly. So it actually doesn't really look great if you have 10 cases. So this isn't really a great example of when you would want to use a switch, but it certainly demonstrates the fall through advantage. So third example is going to just show, in this case, when you can use switch statements with either integers, shorts, bytes, or even chars, because chars in the end are really just numbers. So in this program, I asked for a letter grade from either an A through F, and what I'm doing is I'm getting the string and getting the first character of that string and switching based on that char. So if it's an A, it's going to do this, etc. Now, let me run it quickly here. Or actually, I'm still running it here. So I'm just going to put, I'm going to put an A. So it says study harder. Why is that, Mr. Benham, you say? Well, it wasn't an uppercase A, so it didn't match this and it didn't put that out. Not to mention, I did forget to put my break there. And I should have a break after each one of these, except for the default. So it sort of dropped through. So what I should really do, it didn't match any of these, right? So it actually didn't drop through. It didn't match any case, so it did the default. So here we go, second demonstration. I'm going to do a lowercase b. It should fall through to that. And if I run it again, oh, yes, I have to do my other two things here. Okay, so if I now get to here and I do my letter B,